Good evening. Sorry, I'm a little bit late. We've had a couple of disappointing results, haven't we? A draw against Burnley, and a loss against Freiburg. Let's talk about it on Alex's TikTok takeover. Good evening, guys. How are we all doing? Yeah, sorry I'm a little bit late. I was a little bit rushed off my feet, just trying to get a couple of things sorted. But no, I'm here now, and yeah, not a fantastic week for West Ham. We had a couple of weeks where we were enjoying some positive results, weren't we? You know, the good result against Brentford, and then another good one the weekend after against Everton, and yeah. First of all, it was that loss against Freiburg last Thursday, and then a shambolic first half performance against Burnley, and a much improved performance in the second half against Burnley meant that we ended up drawing 2-2 at the weekend. So, yeah, not been the greatest week. We have got Freiburg to look forward to on Thursday. Awkward time, big game, need to get a win. Could be season defining for David Moyes. It really could be. If we go out at this stage, then all we've got left is trying to finish in those European places in the league, which is not going to be an easy task. And I do wonder, is David Moyes' fate, will it be sealed if we go out against Freiburg this Thursday? Could it be sealed? So yeah, it's a massive game for him. It's a massive game for West Ham, because obviously we want to continue in that Europa League for as long as possible. We want another good run. Are we going to win it? I don't know. We want to be there. We want to have that possibility of trying to win another trophy. It's not impossible. Yeah, there are some other great teams in it, but it is still very, very possible. So we do want to get through, and I do think we're strong enough. If we can put in a performance like we did in the second half against Burnley, then yes, we will get the win. We will progress through to the quarterfinals, and hopefully we can get some favourable draws, which means that then we we can progress further and further on. That will be absolutely amazing. Right. So now, over the last few weeks, just want to address this one. Every single one I've done, we've had a little bit of interruption. Hopefully today will be fine. I've got my new Wi-Fi up and running. I've got nice fast Wi-Fi. I'm not having to connect to my phone anymore, so I should have a nice strong connection. In the comments, please let me know if anything goes blurry, because last week I was blurry for about half an hour, and no one let me know until like 20 minutes in. So if anything does go wrong, let me know in the comments. So yeah, where should we start? We'll have a quick chat about the Freiburg game last week. It was a frustrating performance. I think we underestimated them a little bit. It was a very kind of lackluster performance where, I don't know, both teams just didn't really seem on it. I felt like we'd done enough to try and get the win in that game, but I never felt like Freiburg were going to win. I think we went there to go and get the draw. We didn't want to concede. We wanted to go into the second leg and for it all to be level. So it's definitely not the plan to lose that game, obviously, but that's what happened. And yeah, it was just a little bit of bad defending, really. Alvarez, I think, gave away the ball, and then we were on the we were caught off guard, and they managed to get the goal. And yeah, there was a shout for a penalty. Opposition teams have taken volleyball tactics now to stop us winning games, 2-in-2 games. We're not going to dwell on that a little bit too much, because that's done and that's dusted. We're not going to continue talking about that, because, well, they both should have been penalties, shouldn't they? They weren't. We have to move on. We can't do anything about it. It's just very frustrating to keep on seeing that, isn't it? Very, very frustrating. So let's have a quick look in the comments and see who we have got there today. Out for me. Oh, yo, West Ham faithful. How you doing? Daniel Knight, how are we doing? Evening, Rhonda and Tony. Can we really trust Sullivan to set up And sack Moyes? Oh, that's a big question. Well, we'll be addressing all those a little bit later. Is it a Moyes future defining week every single week? It could be. That's a good question. Is it a Moyes defining week every single week? Maybe not so much for the bold. Maybe for us it is, but for the bold, no. I feel like that if we go out, that might be the deciding factor with the bold on whether or not he gets offered a new contract. Because I think if we go out of the Europa League against someone like AC Milan or Liverpool or Leverkusen, then I think they'll sit back and you go, do you know what? Fair enough. But against Freiburg, a team we've already beaten twice, the board might look at that and think, no, this is it now. Doesn't matter if we get Europe next season. I think it's time to move on. So it really could be season defining for Moyes this week. Not so much with us, more with the board. Because I think the board want a good run in the Europa League. Not to win it, it'd be great. I don't think they're not going to like say you have to win it, but semi-final, possibly quarter-final, definitely. I think that's what the board were after. So yeah, if we go out on Thursday against Freiburg, then yeah, that could be very season defining, and it could be it could decide Moyes' future where the board is concerned, because that is that is who is going to make that decision, isn't it? It's not us. It's the board. Do you think Alvarez will start on Thursday? Yes, I'm gonna address the starting lineup that I think we will see a little bit later, and some of the starting lineups that I think that we should go with on Thursday. So we will address all that a little bit later when we talk about the future game. We're going to do a little bit of chat about obviously the Burnley game. We'll do a little bit of a talk about that. We'll talk about some of the players we saw in that game. And then we will move on to the Freiburg game a little bit later. And we just have a quick look. 2 bad results, but we made both look better. Hopefully no fear on Thursday. Yeah, we did make both teams look better than they actually are. That is a very, very good point, Leslie. And talking about, obviously, the game on Sunday against Burnley, what do you say? I mean, that was a very emotional game, wasn't it? A very emotional game. I was shattered by the end of it, absolutely shattered, because I don't know. First half was very frustrating. They got that early goal, which was a fantastic strike. It really was. There was nothing Ariola could have done about the strike. Maybe we could have defended a little bit better to stop him getting that shot off in the first place, maybe. And then they did get lucky with, and it was luck. It was unlucky for us. It was lucky for them that Mavropanos tried to block it. It deflected off him. Ariola was halfway for a dive. Nothing he could do. It went under him. It was 2-0. I went in at halftime fuming, absolutely fuming, because there was so many terrible performances on that pitch. The amount of misplaced passes and the lack of motivation, the lack of effort. And someone quoted to me something like Burnley had like 70% of possession in the first half. I was like, I'm not bloody surprised, because we kept on giving them the bloody ball. That's all we were doing in the first half. We just kept on giving it away. And we had so many opportunities to get the ball in the box. And there's so many lackluster performances. So it was shocking. And I wasn't looking forward to the second half. But at the same time, I was thinking, right, well, we can't get any worse than this. I was having flashbacks of 6 years prior. Because if you were there 6 years ago on that day against Burnley 6 years ago, you would have remembered what it was. I was having flashbacks to that, because I was thinking, God, if this continues in the second half, we could be seeing a repeat. We could be. But second half, he got better straight away as well. David Moyes, he made a couple of changes, which is credit to him. He saw that he needed them, and we made them. He brought on Alvarez for Phillips. He brought in Antonio for Ward-Prowse, 2 players who definitely needed to come off at halftime. He made that choice. And they instantly improved the team. Instantly. Alvarez secured that midfield. And what a player, by the way. God, how much do we miss him when he's not in the side? I understood him starting Phillips, and I understood him starting Aguero at the back as well, because I feel like Alvarez, he just plays and he plays and he plays. We wanted him rested. We didn't want him to be injured for the game, because he's an extremely important player for us. And if he got injured, we might as well have kissed goodbye to that game on Thursday. So I understood why he started Phillips. He wanted to give him a little bit more game time, but that is a question which we will get to in a minute over Calvin Phillips. But yeah, he brought one Alvarez, he brought one Antonio straight away. We get one back. Paquetá, lovely finish. And yeah, it was a much better performance in our second half. Having Antonio on the pitch as well, I thought he done very, very well. One of the best performances I've seen from him since he's been back from injury. I thought Kudus on the left was exceptional, especially at taking on players and bringing the ball forward and creating chances. He missed a glorious chance. I do not know what he's up with his finishing at the moment because his shooting is all over the place. Can't seem to get a shot on target to save his life. So, yeah, that's a worry for me. He's finishing. But everything else was brilliant. It was. And Bowen was moved over to the right, which was great. He was very effective over on that right. And Paquetá was just that linchpin. He was everywhere. And the energy, the enthusiasm that man has, absolutely love him. And yeah, we got one. We fought. Danny Ings got one after a nice little chest on from Antonio. Was offside. A shoulder. Just offside. Just. I can get it. It's just offside. It was a shoulder. And then yeah, we went ecstatic again. So there was them emotions, just all those emotions. Ecstatic, then disappointed, got disallowed, then ecstatic again when Danny Ings did get that finish. Then he hit the bar, and then it's frustration at the end of the game because you feel like we should have got more, we should have won the game, and frustrated that we didn't perform like that in the first half. Yeah, it was a very, very frustrating game. And why do we do this against these teams? Why? And I didn't really blame Moyes a huge amount for their first half performance because the performances on the pitch were just so bad. I felt like he could have told them to do anything and they still would have messed it up because the players just, no one was really doing anything that they should have been doing. Now, whether it was kind of like a sign, I don't know, but yeah, it was a bad performance. He changed it. Second half performance was a lot better. Danny Ings comes on. Classic performance by this man. Could have had a hat trick. It was really good to see him have some really good form and to get a goal at least, and we get away. And then obviously we had that other contentious handball where the Burnley defender decided to juggle it and wasn't even looked at. And apparently that was not a handball because he headed it onto his own hands. So if you head it onto your own hands, it's not a handball. If you head it onto an opponent's hands, it is. Just to make that clear, just in case there was any confusion over the handball rule. Yes, indeed. So, yeah, what are your thoughts on the game at the weekend? Let's go to the comments and let's have a little look. So we had the two bad results. Phil, I can see Moyes doubling down on Thursday and sitting deep in the usual suspects playing badly. It might work with sometimes. Well, we're going to address that a little bit later. I don't think he will do that. I don't think he will do that on Thursday. I really don't. Ings looks so much better with support around him. Yes, Mark, 100%. This is one of the questions I want to ask. Do we think that we should utilise Danny Ings a little bit more, but in the right way? In the right way. Because when he came on, we had Antonio on the pitch, we had Kudus on the pitch, we had Bone on the pitch, we had Paquetá on the pitch, and he had that freedom to move around, to find space, and he's got a great finish on him. And when he plays in that lone striker role on his own, it just doesn't suit him. It does not suit him. It's not the position he plays in. And yeah, having him play alongside all these other players is very beneficial to him. And if we can utilise him more in that way, we will see more from him. And so that is a question I'll ask. Should we utilise him from the start of the game against Freiburg on Thursday? And that is a question that I will be asking a little bit later. Wolf Central, I'm glad people are finally seeing that attacking football is the way to go with our quality. Well, let's hope that that's how we go on Thursday. I wonder, how can we start against Brentford so fast and then go back to the slow Moyes ball the next game? See, I don't think, from what I was watching, we were trying to push forward, but the passing was just shocking. We'd start out from the back, we'd pass it through, and then the long ball, there were so many long balls. Mavropanos' long balls were shocking. I feel like he was trying to put it forwards quite a lot, but they were just all over the place. I can't even remember a long pass that he actually delivered in that first half. There was a couple in the second half, but in the first half, there wasn't any. So I don't think we were deliberately playing a certain way bad. I just think there was just so many terrible individual performances. It made the performance as a whole look shocking. And that's why we made those two changes. Because we had Ward-Prowse and we had Phillips in the midfield, who, for lack of a better term, effing useless. And yeah, that definitely contributed to the very, very bad performance that we were putting in. That is crazy. What the fuck we were doing? I don't know what we were doing. JP, you remember running onto the pitch naked in protest? Was there a naked protester on that day? I was there. I've got pictures. I don't remember a naked protester. Don't condone that, by the way. Yeah, Moyes cost us the Burnley game once again. No, I'm not. I'm as I say, I'm not sure he did. I think he rescued the game. It was bad performances. It was bad performances as well. We can't put all the blame on Moyes for that because there was just too many shocking bad performances to be able to put all the blame on Moyes. Just one of those days. Once he made the right subs to fix starting lineup, makes mistakes. Yeah, well, yeah, he made a mistake with the starting lineup. But when you put a starting lineup out there, you don't know that a player is going to perform badly. And I agreed with him starting Phillips in that game because I felt like Alvarez probably needed a break. And if we want to get the best out of Phillips, we needed to play him from the start and needed to give him a little bit more game time. It didn't work. And yeah, well, I'll say to Moyes, yeah, he made a mistake. But that's easy to say in hindsight, isn't it? Very easy to say in hindsight. We can look back on it and say, yeah, that was a mistake now. But at the time, I remember thinking, this is not a bad decision. I can see why he's done it. I assume as a layman to football management that Moyes wanted to wear them out first half, go at them in the second. Hey, look, this is the Moyes tactics. You never know. I don't think it was deliberate, that first half performance. I definitely don't. The second half was bad because Moyes panicked and told them to really go for it. First half should have had the same confidence in our players to do the same job. I think he did. There was just the performances were bad. Like the players on the pitch weren't doing the job. They weren't doing the job. And I think he gave them a right kick up the arse at half time, which they needed. Honestly, I do. I think he gave them a right kick up the arse in the first half. And that's why he made the substitutions, because the players on the pitch weren't good enough. If it was just a simple way of him telling them to play better or play a different way, he wouldn't have made 2 substitutions at half time, something which you never see from David Moyes. You never see that. So if it was just a case of him telling them to play better, he wouldn't have made those substitutions. He made those substitutions because the players on the pitch weren't performing, weren't doing the job that he asked them to do. And that's why he made the change. Alex, did you say you got naked pictures of JP? No, I did not say that. I said I've got pictures of that day 6 years ago against Burnley. I did not say I had pictures of JP naked. No, I did not say that. Right, okay, we're going to move away from the Moyes discussion a little bit. Because, yeah, this is... I get everyone's frustrations with Moyes, but I'll put the blame on Moyes for Thursday's performance. We went too cautious in that game. Way too cautious, and that is 100% down to Moyes. But that first half performance against Burnley was just so bad. There's like no manager in the world has asked their players to go and fuck up so badly, and that's what they were doing. They were playing shocking, absolutely shocking. I have little confidence that Moyes will change his method on Thursday. He has such confidence his way works that he will set up in the usual manner. If it doesn't, he will get pelters. Well, I thought this in his first game against Freiburg, and we put in a very professional performance in that game. And I think he probably would have learned something. Learned something, hopefully, from the Burnley game. Let's hope. Nothing against you, Alex. I know we all have different opinions on Moyes. I just want us all to enjoy the football again and cheer on the next manager. I feel like we just get behind the team now to the end of the season. If you want my personal opinion on this, whether you're Moyes in or Moyes out, let's just put that to one side. It's not helping anyone. It's a divide in the fan base. Let's just get behind the team. And we need to start this Thursday. We need to start this Thursday against Freiburg, get behind the team, make that atmosphere absolutely incredible, and try and support the team, because that's who we support. We support West Ham United. We don't support a manager. We don't support the board. We support West Ham United. So that's where all our energy should be going to, supporting the team and trying to help them, trying to be that 12th man to try and help them. And I get that we get behind the team. I get that the performances because I feel it in the stadium when we go behind early that mood drops and we feel like we're just not seeing anything different. But and I get it, I do get it, but I just love to see some more energy. And when we got that early goal on Sunday against Burnley, when we got that early goal in the second half, the atmosphere instantly changed, and it was so much better, just like that. So that's what we need to see. We need to see more of that. I get everyone has different feelings about Moyes. I get it. I understand it. He ain't going anywhere. We got until the end of the season. So let's just get behind the team, worry about that at the end of the season. Right. Okay. Right, we're going to move on. Danny Ings. Yes. Let's have a little bit of a chat about Mr. Phillips. Was it a mistake? Was it a mistake? He hasn't really set the world alight since he has joined West Ham United. We feel like he's probably been a little bit off the boil, has lacked game time and match fitness. Sharpness has not been there. I felt like when he's come on in the last couple of games, he has done okay. I thought he'd done okay against Freiburg. I thought he'd done okay against Everton. But he started and, yeah, he just wasn't good enough. He just wasn't good enough. And I'm just starting to wonder, is he the same player that he was at Leeds before he joined Manchester City? Is he the same player? Has all that time at Manchester City where he hasn't played any football had a devastating effect on the man and his ability to play football? I think that is a real question that needs to be asked. And because he is a great player. He was a great player. And we just haven't been seeing that yet. And it is a shame because I thought this was a great signing. But yeah, it's a real worry. Do we give him more time? Should we give him more time? Well, we probably are going to have to give him more time regardless, because Moyes will probably still play him. But do you still think that he is capable of coming back? Do you think he is? I'm not entirely sure myself. Sorry, needed a sip. What is the Arsenal score, by the way? And by the way, ideally we need Arsenal to get a result tonight. Oh no, Arsenal 1-0. Trossard. And Barcelona are doing well as well. Yeah, ideally we want all the English teams to do well in the Champions League and the Europa League and the Conference League, because of that whole UEFA coefficient. We're sitting third at the moment. You got Italy and Germany just above us. England then gets another Champions League place, which means all the other European places are pushed down. So by the end of the season, the top 8 could get into Europe. So ideally, we need the English teams to do well so we get that extra Champions League spot. So there's more European places available, just in case we can't get into like 6th or 7th and we end up 8th. We can still get into a European competition next season. So yeah, ideally, we want the English teams to do well. It'll be funny if Arsenal went out, but I don't think that's going to happen. Anyway, back to... this is a good one, actually. Something else I want to say. Read today that 12,500 tickets still left, but I think it will be much worse with fans not being able to get to the same kickoff time. There is less than that now. It's about 11,800 that are available. I know that there was some season ticket holders that had bought their tickets before the game was announced, or the time that was announced, that can't make it. I don't know how many that is. But yeah, there is a real worry that there's going to be a lot of empty seats on Thursday. I have personally trying to post more on my TikTok page to try and encourage more fans to try and do it. I'll be doing another post probably later tonight talking about that. So yeah, if you haven't got a ticket yet and you can make that kickoff time, just go on the site, get a ticket. Let's try and. I really want it to be a fantastic atmosphere. I remember the game from Seville 2 years ago, and what an incredible atmosphere it was. One of the best atmospheres I've ever experienced at a London stadium. And I'd love that to be recreated this Thursday. But I know that the kickoff time is really awkward, and it is making it really awkward, and it's so annoying that it's all down to the television rights and money, that the reason why we are having to play at this ridiculous time is because they don't want all the English teams on telly at the same time, and we have been the sacrificial lamb to play at 5:45, which is really annoying. But yeah, I would encourage anyone, if they can get a ticket, if not and you can get there, go. Let's make this atmosphere amazing. I do suspect that more people will make last minute, and we probably will get more people going. But yeah, time is running out. So that's just something I wanted to say. Anyway, we go back quickly to Calvin Phillips. If we had signed Phillips, it would be good for next season, but for half a season, a total cock up, as Blackadder would say. Yeah, I mean, that is a question. I mean, this is more of like a try before you buy deal, isn't it? That's how I heard someone say the other day. We've tried, we won't buy. That's the whole point of a loan. And yeah, at the moment, I don't think he's living up to expectations, and I don't think that West Ham will want to shed out the probably 40 or 50 million that Man City will want for him. And it may be game for Man City, because I think they were hoping to use him as part of a possible deal for Qatar. So they may have to shed out all the money, and then we go buy someone who we think is more suitable, if that happens. But my honest prediction on Phillips at the moment was excuse me, I was giving him more time. I thought we just lacked that match sharpness, but we're just not seeing anything better from him. That performance from him against Burnley, it just wasn't good enough for me, and it was really frustrating. Oh, that Hammers Mikey. That's harsh, I feel. Phillips' biggest Hammers flop since Roberto. Mavro? No, come on now. We won't be dissing Mavro. I know he didn't have a great game, and I have criticised him highly after that performance, but he hasn't been that bad. He put in 2 very good performances in the 2 games before. He just had a very off game in a way. No. Who is it? Someone in the middle. I can't remember his damn name. It was someone who played in a similar position to him that was absolutely shocking. Carlos something, or Carlos Sanchez. That was shocking. He was up there with Roberto. He's not worse than him. Definitely not worse than him. But he could be up there with one of our worst signings ever. That is for sure. Give Phillips a game in the under-21s, most expensive kid ever. Do you know what? You could probably benefit for some game time in the under-21s. You probably could. Phillips is a player who doesn't play in the area we needed. He hasn't played regular for 2 seasons, and I see it as a vanity loan. I've not heard it put that way, but it works. Yeah, he hasn't been playing regularly, that's for sure. Beat Creswell, Zuma, Mavro in that back 4 or 5 on Thursday. How exciting. It might not be. Mavro, yeah. Zuma, yeah. Creswell, I'm not 100% sure on. There is a tiny chance that Emerson could be available. Very tiny chance. But I think he'll probably go with Johnson. I do think he will go for Johnson, because Creswell in a European last 16 knockout at the London Stadium, I get worried. I get flashbacks. I can't be having it. No, so I think Johnson may get the shot at left back if Emerson is not available. But yeah, Zuma and Mavro is. There is no defensive partnership at that back that I am confident with at the moment. There just isn't. You got Mavropanos, who his passing is bad, but he's got some good pace on him. He's got a good tackle on him. You got Aguerd, who's not very good at 1-on-1s, but again, he's got good pace on him, but he does have a good pass on him. You got Zuma, who's good on 1-on-1s and good at tackling, but he can't run with the ball, and he looks so dodgy passing. And then you got Bonga, who's about 97, who's probably past it a little bit, who is fantastic at that one-on-one defending and sitting back and holding it, but just doesn't have any pace anymore. So I've got absolutely no faith in any of our centre backs at the moment, none. And that is an area that we desperately, desperately need to sort out in the summer. 100%. Good atmospheres at London Stadium are few and far between. Nothing compares to Upton Park for me. No, gotta love Upton Park, don't we? I love Upton Park. Yeah, no, the London Stadium atmospheres do tend to leave a lot to be desired, but I will stand by that Seville game a couple of years ago was one of the best atmospheres that I've ever experienced at a football game. Not just at the London Stadium, at a football game. It was incredible. I could not talk the next day. Could not talk the next day. And I'd absolutely love to feel it again. That emotion, those feelings, I'd love to experience it all again. So the London Stadium is capable of producing a fantastic atmosphere. It is. It's just harder to do than it was at Upton Park. GP, I feel sorry for all the local businesses around Upton Park, around local chippy headlines outside it, like a film premiere. Yeah, I used to go to a couple of chippies outside the Upton Park. Yeah, I always felt for that when it happened, but corner of Priory Road, which one was that? There was I think that was the chippy I used to go to. But I always used to love just like the burger vans as well. You know, just proper greasy burgers. Do you know what I mean? Not the £10 tiny things you get in the stadium anymore, or the really expensive ones. Like £3.50 burger, double cheeseburger, just greasy as fuck, beautiful. Like that's what I miss. I want more of that. Not these really expensive burgers and things that cost an arm and a leg. I just miss those old school proper places that just did those normal priced food. You know, now we're paying stadium prices everywhere around the stadium, where before we didn't used to have to do that, did we? It was just plain and simple food, which was absolutely beautiful outside the stadium. I miss that. I really do. Right, where were we? Can we talk? So let's talk about Freiburg. Let's talk about Freiburg this week. Let's talk about how we're going to approach the game. Let's talk about who we will play and who we are going to start with. And let's take that comment away because it's blocking my ugly mug. Yes, this ugly mug. Anyway, yes. So Danny Ings, is he an option? Is he someone we should consider sticking in that starting lineup on Thursday? Should we go away attacking? Should we just go for it? Should we just not worry about the defence? Go with attack is our best defence. We'll just do the back four as it is, whatever it is, like Sofel, Zuma, Mavropanos, Johnson at the back. We'll have Alvarez sitting in front. That's the defence. And then you have Paquetá with him. Then you have Kudus on the left, Bowen on the right, Antonio and Danny Ings play a front five and just go for it. We start the game against Freiburg on Thursday like we ended the game on Burnley on Sunday. Just going for it. And in the first half, be like 3-4-0 up. I reckon that's what we should do. Yeah, we may be left defensively like a little bit vulnerable, but if everyone does their job, we could do it. Should we go out attacking, or is he going to play very defensive and try and nick a win? I don't know. I think he will go attacking, and I think he may change it up a little bit. I think Ward-Prowse has been frustrating him because he keeps on bringing him off. He's brought him off, I think, in the last 3 games. Phillips, I don't think he really trusts. Alvarez obviously will be in that side. Paquetá will be, Kudus will be, Bowen will be. He loves Souček, so he probably will start, which means we probably won't get that really fun attacking lineup. So Souček could be in there. But I do think we should start with at least 4 at the front, and that will be Paquetá, Kudus, Bowen, and either Danny Ings or Mikel Antonio. And I think either one could do a job, as long as we play in Ings alongside one of them. So if it's either Kudus on the right, Paquetá on the left, and then Bowen and Ings up top, or maybe Bowen on the right, Kudus on the left, and then Ings and Paquetá up top. I think that's a possibility. That's what I would like to see, and I think we can get a result. We are a better team than Freiburg. We are. We. I think we saw in the performance from them. They're not fantastic. We have the better players. We can get the win, and I feel like it's a game we should be winning as well. How are Arsenal doing? 1-0 still. Oh, that could go. Oh, that's got a chance to go into extra time, hasn't it? Here's a chance to go into extra time, that one. So, Fearful says, prediction, you're going to say 3-1 to us. Hopefully more than that, but yeah, I have no doubt we probably will concede. Freiburg, we were, weren't we? Freiburg, we weren't we? Very good, JP, very good. Or GP, not JP. Whoever plays just score 2 more than them, or could be last game in Europe for a few years. Yeah, it could be. It could be our last game in Europe for a few years. I mean, that is the concern, isn't it? That is a big concern that we go out of Europe this early, then we don't qualify. I still think that we will. I mean, there's part of me that kind of thinks, well, if we do go out, then we can concentrate fully on the league and we can just go out and attack each game in the league. But I mean, in our 10 fixtures that we got left, we haven't got the easiest amount of games. Like we've got Aston Villa at home, then I think we got Newcastle away, then we got Tottenham at home. Who else we got? I can't remember the order of the rest, but we still got Liverpool to play, we still got Luton to play, we still got Chelsea to play, we still got Man City to play, we still got Fulham to play. And there's a couple of other games in there as well. Crystal Palace and one more. Yeah, there's one more game in there we've got to play as well. So we've got a lot of really difficult games coming up in the Premier League. And Man City obviously is the last game of the season. And we may need to let Man City win so Arsenal don't win the league. That could be a possibility. So not that I would want that to happen. If it came down it and we needed a win, look, we're not going to get a win at Man City. That way we can write off. Liverpool at home, we can get a win because we did that last season. Tottenham at home, we can get the win. Could do a double over Tottenham. That would be great. Villa at home, I feel like we can get a win. Newcastle away is a little bit difficult. We've got Chelsea away, which I think this season, very possible to get a result against Chelsea. They definitely haven't been the greatest. And yeah, there's going to be a real fight for those European places because you've got Wolves just behind us, you've got Brighton, you've got Newcastle, Chelsea are starting to win the odd game here or there. They could jump into it. You've got Man United, who probably are a little bit ahead of us now after they put in a very similar performance against Everton than we did. And they got a couple of penalties, and the only reason they didn't really win that game was because Everton was shockingly bad at taking their chances. So you think West Ham United is the only team that rides our luck? No. Other teams do it as well. Manchester United do it, and they've done it quite a few times this season. So, and that's Ten Hag. That's not Moyes. So, like, we're not the only team that struggles against teams that we should be beating. We are not. There are other teams that do it too. If NFC win it, 7th is good enough, maybe for Euro place, I think. Yeah, I did speak about this a little bit earlier. If we get that, at the moment, if a team that qualifies for the Champions League wins the FA Cup, then that Europa League place from the FA Cup will go into the league. So if that happens, then top 4 will get Champions League, 5th and 6th will get Europa League, 7th will get Conference League. If the English teams do really well in Europe and we get that extra Champions League spot that we will get if the teams do well enough to get us in the top 2 in the coefficient, then 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 will be Champions League, 6th and 7th will be Europa League, and then 8th will be Conference League. But that is dependent on 1, us getting that extra Champions League spot, and 2, a team who is qualified for the Champions League winning the FA Cup, which is possible as well. So 7th could be good enough for the Europa League or the Conference League. And honestly, if we end up getting the Conference League, we end up getting the Conference League. I'm just happy to be in Europe. I enjoy Europe. Obviously, would prefer the Europa League, but the Conference League is fun. Great fun, wasn't it? I really enjoyed it. Leslie, I would go for 4-1-2-3. Fab, Vlad, Mav, Zuma, Eddie, Kudus, Pack, Bowen, Ings, Antonio. But do not see Moyes having a big balls play this. Left back Johnson, Emerson, and Philip Vlad out for Johnson. Yeah, I think that's pretty much what I said, wasn't it? Yeah, going with like the five up top. Yeah, that will Moyes have the big boy balls to go that way? That is the question. I don't think he will. It could though. He could though. He could have looked at that and that last 20 minutes against Burnley and thought, do you know, if we do this against Freiburg, we could have this all sorted by half time. I mean, that's what I was thinking. Like maybe he thought that. You never know. Miracles could happen. I reckon Fab, Sofel, Mavlov, Agued, Creswell, if Emerson is injured, Alvarez, Socek, Bowen, Kudus, Ings. No pack? No pack fearful? No pack at all? The Maltese, if we get Europe next season, that could mean Moyes stays. I would give up Europe next season if it means Moyes goes. No. No. I think Moyes has got to do very well to get that new contract, and I'm not even sure if he will sign it at this point. Like, but I never want to see. So this is the problem I've had. I saw some West Ham United fans say that they want to see us go out of Europe or lose games so Moyes will get the sack, and I was like, I never want to see West Ham lose. I never do. I support West Ham, not Moyes, not the board. I support West Ham. I want to see West Ham do well. So yes, I want to see West Ham get into Europe next season. If that means Moyes stays, that means Moyes stays. Gives us more to talk about. But I said this the other day. I think even if Moyes goes, this Moyes out, Moyes in debate will continue going on for years. Because if we're getting a new manager and that manager does well, then everyone who was Moyes out will be saying, well, told you, should have got rid of Moyes a lot sooner. But if a new manager comes in and does shit, or everyone who was Moyes in said, oh, look, we shouldn't have got rid of Moyes. Either way, we're going to be stuck with this Moyes in, Moyes out debate for years to come. Hence why I just want to give it a rest now to the end of the season and just try and enjoy watching West Ham. That's all I want to see. I just want to see West Ham do well. I don't care who the manager is at the moment. I'll worry about that at the end of the season. Conference League is fantastic, and with a better manager, we would see squad rotation and kids getting minutes. Yeah, you might do. Might not see us win it. I'd like to win it again. But yeah, we could see squad rotation. We did see squad rotation. And he did give the kids time as well. When we had already secured top spot, he gave the kids a go. So he does give the kids a go when he can. I think we will see some of the academy players used a lot more next season as well. I think we will see some of the players promoted in and given more of a chance. I get a feeling we will see that no matter who the manager is. And I think Moyes will do it next season. It'll probably be more next season because I think there are some guys who are ready to step up. We've seen Mubama a couple of times. I feel like he needs a season out on loan. Callum Marshall is not really getting much game time at West Brom at the moment, so he could come back and get some game time. Oliver Skiles, I think, is ready. Unfortunately, he's injured at the moment. Otherwise, I would have said that he could have been a shout to take the left back place, but I think he's got back injury at the moment. He's out for about 6 to 8 weeks, which I think effectively ends his season. Not quite, but nearly. So, yeah, I think we'll see some of the kids used next year. I definitely do. We need Villa win conference, Paul, Europa, City, Champions League will go to 8th. I would say City win Champions League. That's great. Either West Ham or Liverpool to win Europa League. But I kind of don't want Aston Villa to win the Conference League, just so we can come out and say, told ya, it's not that easy. Not every Premier League team can do it. So I kind of just want to say that. But I don't mind Aston Villa. So if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. Still 1-0 in the Arsenal game. It's going to go to extra time, that, isn't it? Anyway, yeah, so there's a little part of me that kind of doesn't want Aston Villa to win, just so that I can say, "Told you it's not that easy," because that was the one criticism. Any Premier League team would go in it and win it. So, and if it's Emery as well, who has won the Europa League like 4 times, if he doesn't win it, then yeah, that may just be something to gloat about. Fearful, Paqueta and knew I forgot someone. How'd you forget Pack? How'd you forget him? Michael, whoever is manager coach next season has a big job on their hands rebuilding. That is for sure. Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a big overhaul this summer. A very, very big overhaul. I feel it. Because we need new centre backs. We could see Paquetá leave, which could open up some funds. I think we need someone new to replace Paquetá for one. We need 2 centre backs for one. We need another left back. We need another right back probably. We need probably back up to Alvarez. We need someone who can play on the left as well as centrally. Maybe we need an option there. We could see some of the homegrown players leave. We could see Johnson leave. We could see Mubama leave. We could see Ings leave. We could see Creswell leave. And we need to fulfil our homegrown player quota as well, which I think is 8. So that's another reason why I think some of the youth players could be promoted. We can use those as some of our homegrown players. So yeah, there is there is going to be a big overhaul in the summer. I do, and I think we're going to see a lot of change. And I think Tim Stein is going to be a massive part of that. So, and I think that's what we're planning for. I think that's one of the reasons why we had such a quiet January, because we're planning to go big in the summer. And we didn't want to have to spend too much now. Don't agree with it, but hey. Would be more confident with Areola in goal, but love Fabs. But Alphonse has saved us many times this season. He has, but Fab's still a very decent keeper and more than capable of doing a decent job in goal. But I get what you mean. With Areola in goal, there is a little bit more confidence. And what I liked about Areola is he actually started distributing the ball quickly in the second half against Burnley, which something I haven't seen from him this season. I haven't seen him do that. It's been one of my only criticisms of the man this season, that his distribution has been terrible, but he got a lot better in the Burnley game. So hopefully we see more of that as well from Areola in more Premier League games. But Fabianski's been good at distribution in the Europa League this year. So yeah, I get what you mean, but Fab's still very decent keeper. Not sure if Villa and Liverpool both win Euro Cups and then we get 5 Champions League, 3 European Conference League. Not sure, but if Villa and Liverpool both win Euro Cups, then we get. I think it depends. Like if we get as far as possible, I think if the Italian teams got knocked out, so like tonight, I think it looks like Napoli's going out, so that's a plus. If we knock out Freiburg, that's good because Germany is one of the countries that's above us in the coefficient. So I think you've got Leverkusen, you've got Dortmund, and you've got Bayern. Can't think of another one. There might be another one. No, there isn't another one. I can't remember who the other ones are. No, I don't think that's it. And then you've got the Italian teams where you've got Fiorentina, you've got Roma, you've got AC Milan, you've got Inter Milan, you've got Lazio, I think, as well. So there's quite a few Italian teams in it. We need them to go out as well. We do need a lot of positions fixed or back up, but I think mainly need a striker to get us goals. Yes. So I think the striker is very much going to depend on what manager we have. If we get a new manager in, then we could see a new system with a new striker coming in. But if we don't, then he could be more of a left winger that can be used as a striker. But we'll see. We'll see. JP, Moyes' team did get last summer right with Kudus, Alvarez. Summer could be exciting. It could be very exciting, and I hope so. I really enjoyed kind of covering like transfer news last year, and I really look forward to doing it again. Hopefully, yeah, it can be an exciting window. It took our time, but we did get it right in the end. Kudus, Alvarez, both very good signings. Ward-Prowse, who has been a little bit off recently. He's questionable, but he's still contributed quite a lot to West Ham this season. I think he's just having a little bit of a off period at the moment. And of course you got Mavropanos, who did have a very poor performance on Sunday, but I thought on the whole, I thought he has done well, and I think he just needs to improve his passing. If he gets that right, if he cuts out those mistakes, then he'll be a very, 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 very good defender for us, because I do think he is good. Best news today is Paul taking Edwards back. So Tim should be here for the long haul. Yeah, no, I saw that. That is very good news. Oh, sorry. I've had another sore throat. Kind of got off the antibiotics from my last sore throat, and 2 days off that, and then another one comes along. Typical. Apparently, talking is not good for it, and that's something I do a lot now. Who we got next? I'll be very surprised if no big club comes in for Areola. Yeah, it's a possibility. He's definitely up there with one of the best keepers in the Premier League at the moment. I've got no doubt about that. But it'll take something to prime away from West Ham. I do feel. There was a little video going around of Areola thanking the ball boy for giving the ball quick, which led to the Ings goal, and then afterwards giving him his shirt. So that's brilliant. Yeah, do you know what? I saw that ball boy who gave, because I think it's West Ham. They put out that video of the ball boy handing the ball to Areola and him burning it out, and then from that we end up getting the equaliser, which was great. And yeah, I had heard of that as well. Which no, I think that's a lovely touch, isn't it? I think that's a really lovely touch. I do like that. Sorry, Reese, what do you keep on? West Ham, David Moyes out of club. You keep on commenting that, Reese. What do you mean? If you were the new gaffer, who are you signing? That's not my job. That's Tim Steiden's job. I'll go, Tim, give me some names. It is Tim Steiden's job, and it depends on who he comes up with. I think we're not going to see the signings that we see. If we see any in the summer, the signings that we are going to see are not going to be ones that are brand name. Like, you're not going to sit there and go, him. I think this is going to be very not unknown. Like, you may have heard about them briefly. You've heard the name, but you can't put a face on them. That kind of player. I think he's going after these kind of hidden talents. Like, you talk about Edson Alvarez. How much did you really know about Alvarez before we signed him? It's someone that West Ham identified and we didn't know a huge amount about. Same with Kudus as well. Didn't know a huge amount about him. Heard his name before, but I didn't know much about him. And there were so many other players that could play in those positions that we saw other teams sign, because I think Diaby, I'd heard of him, I knew about him. Aston Villa got him. You had Doku, who Man City signed, and I heard and I knew about him. But Kudus was a little bit of an unknown. Knew the name, didn't know a huge amount about him. Same with Alvarez, same with Mavropanos. Obviously, James Ward-Prowse we knew about. But yeah, I think we're going to see a lot of unknowns this transfer window. Little gems, hopefully. Little gems. That's what I'm hoping for. So, a bit quiet on the comments tonight. So, predictions. We've also got Aston Villa on Sunday. Another game. I'll be at that one as well. So, I'll be at the Thursday game and I'll be at the Sunday game. Aston Villa, of course, have got an important game themselves this week against Ajax. So we're both in Europe. They are playing a later game, so we've got a few hours on them, I do believe. So it could be an interesting game as well. And I do think that is a game, as I said earlier on, that I think we can get a result in. And I think it's very important we do. We don't necessarily want to be doing Tottenham a favour, because that's what we will be doing if we beat Aston Villa. But I think it is a game that we can get a result in. Do you think that we'll get a win in both games? That is the big question. I think we can. I think we can get a win against Freiburg. And I think we can get the win against Aston Villa. And I think we can do it comfortably. I may be dreaming, but I do think we can. Has Arsenal gone to extra time? Has the Arsenal game finished yet? No, it's not finished yet, is it? Did it say +3 and it's in +7? What's going on with that game? I might have to go and watch the extra time. I am probably going to go in a minute. I'll go and watch the extra time in the Arsenal game. That could be quite amusing. Can see 2 wins on the bounce. They lost McGinn, their engine. They did lose McGinn. Yeah, that is a big player to lose. Douglas Luiz, that's the one I want them to lose. Hopefully he might pick up a small knock in their game against Ajax. Ollie Watkins as well. They are a very dangerous side. But yeah, I mean, McGinn being out is a plus for West Ham. Hopefully, we don't lose anyone. Hopefully not. Rondo and Tony, I'm a big Moyes out man, but I never cheer against West Ham, and I'm picking a double West Ham win. 3-0 Thursday, then 2-1 against Villa. That's what I like to hear. I'm gonna go. My prediction for Freiburg. I'm going 3-1. I'm going 3-1. I like that one. So yeah, 3-1 to West Ham against Freiburg, and then the Villa game 4-2. I think it'll be a high scorer. 4-2 against Aston Villa, and then I think it's a little break, isn't it? Because I think it's the international break. Thinking of it, is it the international break? It might be. Yeah, I think it might be the international break after Sunday's game. And then when we come back, we've got Newcastle, and then we have Tottenham. So, not looking forward to those because we never have a good game after the international break, but we shall see. Player going off by stretcher, Porto player. Oh, is that the delay on why it's still going on? They had an injury. Was really annoyed on Sunday with Burnley's time wasting. Hope it don't happen again on Thursday and we get a good referee change. Oh, yeah, that keeper. How did that keeper not get booked? He was shocking. Absolutely shocking. Oh, yeah, extra time at Arsenal. Yeah, I might have to go and watch that. Yeah, but that time wasting by Burnley on Sunday was terrible. It really was terrible. I don't know how they kept on getting away with it. And the referee just did not want to do anything about it. Like, I swear that keeper could have got sent off with the amount of time he was time wasting. Such a weak ref. It really, really was a weak ref. GP 2-1 Freiburg, then 2-2 Villa. Do you know I'd take that? I'll take that. Porter player on stretcher for cramp. Terry McCann or Ronnie Pickering? What's that meant to be a question about? To be honest, any ref is better than a Premier League ref. I would not say that. There are definitely worse refs than Premier League refs. There's better ones, but there's definitely worse as well, especially in the Europa League, because we don't get the Champions League quality refs in the Europa League. We get the ones that are not quite good enough for that. So, and there's Premier League referees in the Champions League. That's a worry. So yeah, we'll see. I just hope that the new VAR officials can understand the handball rule, or actually have some common sense at least. That would be nice if they can have some common sense. We do realise that if Fry scores, then we have to score 3. No worries. We've got Danny Ings. We've got this man right here. If we need 3, he'll come on with 20 minutes, get them all. We've got the mighty Danny Ings. Not a problem. We'll get it done. You got me with that one. 2-1 Freiburg would mean extra time. Don't want that. Now, extra. It doesn't really matter. I mean, it's an early kickoff. Extra time will take us to 9 o'clock. That'll work. No, I don't want extra time. I want 3-1, not 2-1. 3-1 to West Ham, and we get the job done. We get done. A 3-0 will be even more comfortable. 4-0, half time. Then we can just relax and take it easy in the second half. We start with 5 up front. We go at them. We scare the shit out of them. We destroy them. And then in the second half, we stick on the defenders and we just play ball and we just relax and take it easy and sing some songs. Do things the easy way for once. That would be nice, wouldn't it? But West Ham United, we don't do things the easy way, do we? Super Daddy Ings. Nothing wrong with the keeper. The ref was to blame, not the player. Now I'm confused. Russ once pushed me off a urinal at match saying, "Do you know who I am?" Russ would never. Oh, I had a hilarious comment on one of my TikTok videos the other day. I was at the West Ham game beforehand. I was in Westfield and I went to the toilet, and I had a comment on one of my videos saying, "Oh, I saw you in the Westfield toilets the other day. I was washing my hands. I was wearing a red and black jacket and a West Ham trousers, and I was washing my hands, and I saw you queuing up, and I was like, oh, that's nice. Why are you telling me what you look like? Like, no offense, that's fine. You saw me, but I don't pay attention to people in the toilets. I just don't. It was just a very weird how he started describing what he was wearing on the day. Russ has a private bog. He probably does. He's an important man, Russ. Don't forget it. Russ having Willstone favouritised. Right. Okay. On that, we are going to end tonight's stream. If you haven't got a ticket for the West Ham United game this Thursday, I'm speaking to everyone who is watching this now and after. You have not got one yet. There are tickets available. Go and get one. If you can make the game, get there. Make the atmosphere incredible. Be the 12th man. The players need it. West Ham need it. So if you can get there, get there. Really hope you can be there. I will be back next Tuesday, 2 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 9 p.m. as per usual, 9 p.m. next Tuesday. And hopefully we'll be talking about two fantastic wins, one against Freiburg. We'll be talking about that AC Milan were playing in the quarterfinals, or hopefully not actually, someone maybe easier. And we'll be talking about a win against Aston Villa. So hopefully, if you're there on Thursday or on Sunday, hope to see you there. If you do see me, come say hello. And yes, come on, you Irons. Let's go. And I will see you guys next Tuesday at 9 o'clock. Have a good night. Come on, you Hammers. See you later, guys.